What's up, world? This is We Need a Fifth. This is your man Mo. Got my man P in the building.
What up?
Got my man Hill on the line.
Yeah, this is it, huh?
All right, December 30th. About to close out 2023, fellas. And I think we need to give the people We Need the Fifth year in review. Talk about some of the major events that sparked our interest, caught our eye, and chop it up. One of the first things mentioned, your boy Pat Mahomes was able to win another Super Bowl championship. That makes two. For what some people would argue is one of the greatest QB talents of our era. Doesn't look like he was able to carry it over, though. Looks like the Chiefs have been a little suspect this year. You know me, guys. I'm not too heavy into the NFL besides what I see on ESPN. But I think he only has 9 wins this year. He's in the playoffs, but might not make it. What do you think about Pat Mahomes and how 2023 is working out for him?
Just let me get mine. You know, Hill's one to the NFL out of all of us, or whatever. But to me, I don't bet against Mahomes. If he's in, I'm rolling with Mahomes. As long as he gets in the playoffs, I think he has if you have Mahomes, you have a chance.
Okay. Hill?
Starting off, he couldn't have a better kickoff to the year. You know what I mean? Winning the Super Bowl and winning the MVP of the regular season.
So, you mention that.
Yeah, Super Bowl MVP. And so, going down 24-14 in the second quarter, re-injuring that ankle and hobbling off, I said, who is the replacement? He didn't look like he can walk. He goes in, they said he needs some treatment. Whatever they did, we all text each other. We felt like Danielson. We saw him walking off. Let's hobble. And not one, not two, but every offensive possession in the second half, every offensive possession in the second half, they scored and end up winning. You know what I'm saying? So, what was it, 38-35? An epic comeback on his part. So, to start the year, Patrick Mahomes couldn't do any better. I mean, he's 9-6 now, and they're gonna win the division. So that's how he said. They win one more game, and they should close out their division. Raiders coming up. The Eric Bieniemy thing, going to Washington and allowing his play calling, I guess. It's hard to, I don't know how you weigh that. You know what I mean? Because Eric is not having the greatest times out there in Washington. You know what I mean? So I would pee on the fact that you never, underestimate the gunslinging tactics of Pat Mahomes. So make it work with any wide receiver, and especially having Travis Kelce. And hopefully Isaiah Pacheco is coming back to being healthy. They can make some noise.
Moving on, Texas Rangers in Major League Baseball won World Series. I believe, is this their first World Series
First one, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
First.
They were able to beat the Phillies that they played?
The Nationals.
That shows you how much we were watching baseball.
It shows you how much we need a fifth cup.
Might be the Diamond.
Yeah, I think it was the Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like neither one of
terrible.
them.
Isn't that terrible? I think it's a Diamondbacks.
Congratulations, Texas. Next.
Only thing you get out of that is Corey Seager, 2-time MVP. You know what I mean? Corey Seager was MVP for the Dodgers, and he became MVP for the Rangers. So
LSU Tigers with Angel Reese was able to win a women's basketball championship. got into a little heated contest with Caitlin Clark. Came out on top on that. Caitlin Clark is rising up the NIL standings. Her star is starting to rise. Many predict that if she chooses to come out this year, she'll be the #1 pick. I know you guys really love women's college basketball and whatnot, and y'all couldn't help but watch these young superstars in the making.
That's
And watch out for Juju up in USC. She's coming.
Yeah,
She's
definitely.
coming.
But
Watch out for her. She's coming. I think this
mean,
March is
looking at
going to
the
be her coming out
NIL,
party.
Caitlin Clark is 4th with 765,000, and Angel Reese is 1.7 million, and Flage is 1.1. You know what I mean? So these girls are making money.
Yeah, I mean, they're making more money now than they would in the WNBA.
Absolutely, absolutely. I guess the shocker through that whole Final Four thing about was that Angel Reese was coming in SEC Player of the Year, averaging 23 and 15. Like, again, being a novice, like Pete says, it shouldn't have been that much of a shocker.
Yeah.
He had 34 double-doubles coming into that. So it's like she made her stance, we're here, we're now. You know what I mean? So
yeah. And I
it's
know I
more
love
than just her marketability. She has talent.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of sports. You know what I mean? If they don't want to give it to you, or they put someone ahead of you, at the end of the day, you could handle it on the court or the field, or whatever. So I feel like she took her spot. You know what I mean? It wasn't given to her. She took her spot. So salute to Angel Reese and the Lady LSU Tigers.
Yep. Go professional women's professional basketball, WNBA. The Aces were able to repeat, and I think I don't want to speak for the entire show, but I think we can all agree that this was one of the most exciting WNBA playoff seasons that they've had in their conception. You had two superstar teams, superstar-laden teams in New York Liberty and the Las Vegas Aces totally show out. And Las Vegas Aces, the story, wow. Not only do you have Candace Parker going down, a bona fide Hall of Famer, you have Chelsea Gray go down, bona fide Hall of Famer. And all Asia Wilson and Chelsea Plum do is show up and take the championship. When it looked like they had every reason to lose, they came out and captured the chip. I was thoroughly impressed with the WNBA this playoff season.
You lost Kia Stokes too that game too. You lost Chelsea Gray, you lost Kia Stokes. So, and then you win the championship 3-1. I mean, it was an all-time great series, but 3 diehard studs won. I think what would it have been if they would have played. So,
yeah, and also it speaks to New York Liberty. I think there's a lot of hype around them. We saw how difficult it can be to bring together that much talent and make it work. And I think you see the benefit of team chemistry, because I think that was the only difference between the two teams. They both have comparable talent, on their squads. It's just about chemistry and knowing how to win and knowing that, hey, I've been through the rough periods with this teammate. I know what they're going to do, and I know how they're going to respond. I don't think the Liberty were playing with that knowledge, whereas, hey, Las Vegas Aces knew, oh, Candace goes down, that's no problem. Next person is going to step up. Oh, Chelsea goes out, no problem. Next person is going to step up. Kia go down, oh, next person is going to step up. We know because we've been through the battle. We've went through this journey with these women before, and we're prepared for it. And I think New York Liberty showed, like I said, their lack of chemistry.
Yeah, but if you're playing a team who is equivalent in talent, and me, you, and Paul go down on our team, and I understand that we have other players that we take out to the basketball courts with us, we would expect to lose. with 3 central players that get taken out during that. It shouldn't be. You still lose. I understand next man up, but Chelsea Gray, Candace Parker, and Kia Stokes aren't. They're not, 12, 11, and 9 on the bench.
Right.
Yeah.
So I understand the chemistry point, but you should come out of this with a W if you're giving me that whole entire Liberty team. Granted, you do have Plum. I understand that. And Asia, all-time great. You still should come out of here with a W with those players down.
Yeah. That's tough, man. Tough. Hey, hit us up on social media. Let us know what you guys think. Did you guys follow the WNBA season in 2023? Did you guys catch Patrick Mahomes winning another Super Bowl? Did you catch Texas Rangers winning their first World Series? Hit us up on social media. Let us know what your thoughts were about those things. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification button so you know when the next video is coming out. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. You can hit us up directly at weneedafifth@gmail.com. Fellas, going into the NBA 2023, Joel Embiid wins his first MVP. Many say this should have probably been his second or third MVP. But this was his 2023 was the year that he wins his first MVP. What do we have to say about Joel Embiid and his MVP season?
Looks like he's going to top it. Currently, he deserved it. Like, I've always been a proponent of his talent. Always been a fan of his game. Just he's healthy. That's what I think it is. He's healthy. He's playing games. Knock on wood. But yeah, no surprise. The talent's always been there.
Few stats: 28, 11, and 4 for career. That's Hall of Fame, right? Easily. Yeah. Last year was 33, 10, and 4 in 66 games. Little caveat to that: they were 11 and 5 without him. It's a little something to that. In the playoffs is where Embiid gets me. You know what I mean? So they go on and sweep Brooklyn. They got Boston in the second round, and they go 7 games. Granted, and their 3 wins plus 5 points. You know what I mean? They average, and their 4 losses is 19.7 points. I mean, they're averaging 20-point blowouts in their losses. That's what gets me in these Embiid playoffs. And that's what has the Joker fight with less points easier for Joker to win these arguments against Joel Embiid, who I will fight tooth and nail. I feel is a better player, but then it's like, what legs do I have to stand on? You know what I mean? This year he's 35, 12, and 6.
Wow.
You know what I mean? At 22 and 9. Last year they were 54 and 28. I mean, he's giving you great numbers and he's winning. It's the playoffs where he's had his issues. I mean, I think he's gonna get judged on. But he's clearly he should have won years before, so you were right.
So that's the next step for him, right? Just as far as adding to his resume for the Hall of Fame and stuff like that. Obviously, we all think that he has the talent to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. If he continues, especially if he continues on this trajectory. But it kind of brings me back to former arguments we used to have about, hey, how do we define greatness? What is greatness? I know me and P have argued at some point in time that, hey, in order to be considered great, you got to have a chip. Hill, you've made an argument that, hey, doesn't necessarily have to have a chip in order to signify that a player is great. Where do we fall on that issue with Embiid? do we feel that he has to take that next step, especially in the playoffs, to your point, Hill, in order to really cement his place in the greatness category?
It's so funny you say that. I think we're still going to fall on the same wavelength. I think for you guys, this redundancy, seeing him throw up these stats, it's going to say in the playoffs he doesn't produce, so he's not great, and I get it. For me, it's going to be a 10-year period of looking at this, and I could be looking at 30, 12, and 5 for 10 years, and I'm like, that's amazing. So I'm going to have him on my pantheon as a first ballot Hall of Famer and a great player who just couldn't get it done in the playoffs unless he piggyback. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, he's whatever you feel of Kevin Durant is Joel Embiid.
Okay.
That's interesting. Huh?
Okay. P, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, the Embiid, yeah, like Hill stated earlier, you know me, I'm with the chip. Like, I think he's as good as Joker, but I can't say it because Joker has a chip. I totally agree with how Hill looks at it. Like, I think he's better than him. This year, he's having a better, right now, today, he's playing better than Joker, in my opinion. But Joker has that chip. You know what I mean? So as far as the Embiid Durant thing, it's a very yeah. I've never heard anyone come up with it. That's a good one. Yeah, he's at this point, he's basically Durant. I mean, okay, he hasn't gone to the finals. I give Durant that he's going to the finals, but you know, if he goes to, I don't know, Denver or Boston and wins a chip, do we look at him differently? Yeah. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And speaking of Joker in 2023 was able to win his first chip with the Denver Nuggets. And to your point, has that cemented him as far as being first ballot Hall of Famer and cemented his place in the greatness category?
Yeah, I think at this point it's just staying healthy. Like, even if he doesn't win again, like, he's pretty much already passed like Bill Walton, rest in peace to great Willis Reed, because their careers were cut short due to injuries. So to me, he's already there. So to me, he's probably like a top 10 center now.
Okay. Hill?
I gave you Embiid as 32. Good, we're looking at 32, 11, 5 career-wise. I don't know what you look at. Is it a downfall from that to being 25, 12, and 10 for a career? But Joke, I mean, he's going to average a triple-double. Like, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, without a chip, like, that's great. And then a man's going to average 30, 14, and 10 for his playoff career. Like, if he didn't have a chip, to me, that's impressive. And he goes on, but he has a chip.
Yeah, and I think having those numbers that lends itself to, hey, eventually you're going to get a chip in the playoffs if you keep on having numbers like that, or you're averaging numbers like that, or you're going to give your team a very good chance to have a chip. I think with the argument with Embiid is the numbers that we see in the regular season, it drops off in the playoffs. I don't know why. You know what I mean? Besides, hey, maybe him not him not physically holding up until that point, but his numbers drop off, and it's close to a 10-point drop off in some certain years there was. So I think that's gonna be an Achilles heel in any argument for Embiid as far as being an all-time great and stuff like that. But hey, that's why we play the games. Keep it moving. He has an opportunity this year to prove everybody wrong.
With that team, good luck.
Yes.
Players are different beats. I mean, the guy can will do 82 games, but I don't know, maybe the pressure gets to him when it comes to the playoffs. And like you said, he caves into it.
Fellas, I know I started off with the NBA and whatnot, but I want to kind of rewind a little bit back in 2023. U.S. loses at FIBA, not able to medal at FIBA. But that young team with the young stars in the making, including Anthony Edwards, Therese Halliburton, Jalen Brunson, um, Pablo Blanchero, excuse me, even SGA.
No, he was. Oh, you mean all around?
Yeah, just RJ Barrett. It seems like all the young players or the young stars that participated in FIBA, whether they be for the United States or another team, came back to the NBA much better. And in particular, the players for United States with Ant-Man, Brunson, Blanchero, Halliburton, they've all gotten their teams in playoff contention at this point in the season. Anthony Edwards has his team in the top 3 right now in the Western Conference, and we all stated early before the season started that the Western Conference was going to be a murderer's row, and that there's maybe between 10 to 12 teams there that can make a serious playoff run. Banchero has Orlando Magic in playoff contention at this point. I think they're a top 6 team, if I'm not mistaken. Tyrese Halliburton has Indiana Pacers in playoff contention at this point. I think they're a top 8 team, if I'm not mistaken. Jalen Brunson, that's the one where we weren't surprised with the Knicks. We figured that there will be a middling team right in the middle of the pack as far as playoff contention. Austin Reeves with the Los Angeles Lakers is probably the one downside of all the young players. It's probably having the worst season thus far coming into 2024. And even he has shown some improvement in this game and stuff like that. I know it wasn't a success at FIBA, but can the NBA claim success with what they did at FIBA? Especially considering that the payoff it's gotten them in this early season going into 2024.
Well, this is Grant Hill's first try at this since taking over for Jerry Colangelo, and then he has to put a good team out there for Paris, which I'm sure he will do. I hope he will do. But I think Grant did okay, and then and Grant picked a few good guys also outside of those players like Steve Kerr, Eric Spoelstra, Ty Lue, Mark Few. I think they can coach. I guess I was wrong.
And to be fair to you, Hill, I know you always said that, hey, you like the FIBA team that Grant Hill put together. Me and Pete did not see it for FIBA in particular. And I think we were proven right in that situation. But to your point, I think, hey, what Grant was able to highlight was that United States basketball is in good hands. There is young talent in the pipeline coming up. And P, what was that? What was that?
I don't know. If it was in good hands, they would have won.
The problem, I don't think it was in good hands. I think the issue falls down with, I'm going to cut you off here, with Steve Kerr, Mark Few, and Spoelstra and Ty Lue. Because if that's the case, Dennis Schroeder, they won, right?
Yeah.
And he's struggling to get Toronto out of 12th place. So these other players who were on this U.S. team are just taking their teams into first, second. You know what I'm saying? They're good players, and they're taking over the league. Schroeder, I don't want to say Schroeder stinks, but Schroeder stinks.
No, and this is where I'm going to come out in defense of the coaching staff of U.S. basketball and the GMs.
They lost to Dennis Schroeder.
All right. Same with NBA. NBA introduced in 2023 the in-season tournament. We had our first winners from LA. That would be the LA Lakers, not the Clippers. Won the first in-season tournament championship. Now, my question to you guys is it okay for them to hang up their banner, the in-season tournament championship banner in the building? Is that okay?
I mean, it's okay, and they definitely did it, and it's a championship. I guess if you're saying should they have any sense of self-worth for doing it, probably not. I mean, to be fair, it's and they're like 2-6 after it too. It's just LeBron. He got in. You knew he wasn't losing. A first of anything, he was going to capitalize on it. It was blood, sweat, and tears throughout the whole thing. I saw it coming from a mile away. For what it was exciting. It's fun. It was NCAA-ish. But
was it a success?
I mean,
can you say it was a success?
Oh yeah, the tournament, sure. But it makes me think back to the whole. Now I'm gonna be a hypocrite because I'm like, if they play well and win it, yeah, they play well and win the tournament, you should have you should win a playoff spot.
Mm-hmm.
After they won that, like I said, they're like 2-6. They might continue to go on and not make the playoffs. I mean, like,
yeah. Hey, that's why they play the games, brother.
But to stay on track, like you were saying, yeah, it's a championship. So you should put it up and maybe fly it halfway. Not like the rest of them.
Hey, where you at? Where you at on this?
You know, I just look at it as the Maui Invitational, the NIT. It's cool. I don't know if Duke or Carolina hangs up the banners for the Maui Invitational wins or not.
I think they do.
Yeah, they might. They might. I don't think they should. I think it's more of an NBA thing. I think the NBA is like, hang it up. We need to push this. But you're the Lakers. To me, that's like hanging up. You won the Western Conference. To me, actually, winning the Western Conference is actually more meaningful, in my opinion, than the tournament.
But, see, that's where I'm going to disagree with you, P. Because with the Western Conference, you can only play Western Conference teams. They're the only ones that you're competing against. With the in-season tournament, you are competing against the entire league. It's even harder than the playoffs because it's not, hey, just 8 teams. It's hey, the entire league got a shot at this.
No, because if we thought that, then the Lakers are the champions. It can't be harder. You can't think that.
It's harder than winning the Western Conference. I mean, it's because you're going through more. You have to go through your conference and then go through the East. It's tantamount to a mini championship. I mean,
so if Denver gets to the NBA Finals, you're going to say the Lakers had a better season? No, because it's the playoffs. Like, it's a cute tournament, man. It was cool.
I mean, for me, I would rather you hang up an in-season tournament championship banner than a Western Conference championship banner.
Okay. I mean,
you know what I mean?
I don't think Lakers should hang either one, but okay. These are Lakers. Like, to be honest, if the Pacers won, cool. You're the Pacers. This is all you're going to get. But if you're the Lakers,
the Lakers should just hang up chips. Man. By definition, this is a championship, but it should be flagged, but it should be hung halfway.
I just feel like it can't be.
I mean, nobody died, Hill.
Because AD put up 40.
My heart died.
Because AD put up 40, but he didn't. You know why? It didn't count. Right. The championship game doesn't even count. Oh man. I just it's good for TV. It's good for the TV deal that's coming up. It's good for the excitement for the fans, but it's the
P,
Malian.
just say it's good. P, it's all right. It's all right to say it's just good, yo.
I
You,
gotta see
you,
how
you
it
say it's
carries.
good for this, good for that. You could just say it's good. It's
I
good.
don't know.
It's all right. It was good.
The
You
Maui
enjoyed it.
Invitational never really.
You enjoyed this one. You didn't watch Maui, but you watched
No,
it.
no, no. Well, not since Memphis State was in it. That was a long time ago. But yeah, I'm in Penny.
Oh man. Whew.
Memphis State versus Chaminade.
Hey guys, hit us up on social media. Let us know what you guys think. Did you see US play in FIBA? Did you see Joker win his first championship and Embiid win his first MVP? What do you guys think of the year in basketball for 2023? Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification so you know when the next video is coming out. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. And you can hit us up directly at we need a fifth at gmail.com. 2023 rounded it out. KD passes the 10th all-time scoring record. I think he's creeping up on number 9 right now. Look out, Carmelo Anthony. Shohei Ohtani gets a $700 million contract with the LA Dodgers. And who else?
Yamamoto.
Yeah, Yamamoto. I think 350.
So 1.5 billion, over $1 billion of contract. Dodgers.
Yeah, for the Dodgers.
That's Magic over there too, right? I don't know. Is he still with that?
Yeah, Magic's is still over there. Still over there. Fellas, I kind of want to jump into college football a little bit. Coach Prime, he got to Colorado from Jackson State. A lot of hype. First game of the season versus TCU. Colorado shocks the world and beats a ranked opponent first game. And Coach Prime asks the world, do they believe? And the hype machine starts to run rampant. And I think that's the start of unfair expectations for the Colorado football team. I believe they ended this season with 3 wins, if I'm not mistaken.
4-8.
4-8. Hill, I know we're talking off camera, but there were a lot of close games in that record. A lot of games that they probably should have won. I'm thinking about the Stanford game in particular, Colorado State game. What do we think about Coach Prime's first year at Colorado in 2023?
For me, it was just sheer excitement. I mean, they come out 3-0 out the gate, and then you thought, to me, if you'd have told me after 3-0 that Deion Sanders could walk on water, I believe it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? He was must-see TV at any moment. I was finding it. I don't care if it was an 11 p.m. Eastern game time that I had to find him. 1 o'clock. Again, he was must-see. To be fair, from 1-11 to your realistic, well, you said if he wins 4 games, you thought it was a success.
Yeah.
You have to. And I fought you on that all year. And numbers are numbers. So I said 4-8 is a horrible year until I looked into the numbers. And I had to apologize to you and Coach Prime. You know what I mean? Coach Prime, in a sense, had some blunders, but he had a really good year. You know what I mean? And out of 3 games, say Washington State, UCLA, and Oregon, they were never in those games. But they had a chance to be 9-3, just losing those 3 games, because the rest of the games were one-score games, which a better offensive line, a drop here. Shador was running for his life. You know what I mean? They missed the wide receiver. A lot of things played a part. And Deion's first year coaching and having some issues with the D-line as well, too. So those things I think he'll tighten up. And then he has a 5-star offensive line recruit, Jordan Seaton, which we were talking about. That's going to bolster them up big time. So with that being said, I think it's what Jordan Seaton said, which made me feel, more importantly, that the 4-8 is better than it actually was. You know what I mean? They're closer to the 9-3 mark if they get things right. It's the faith in Deion and the recruiting outside of what Deion is going up against. So other coaches feel like Deion's a threat, but Seaton was saying that it was almost disgusting the way that they were recruiting him. You know, the things that they were asking him was that, do you want to go to Colorado to be a rapper? And he was like, you know, I love football. He was like, oh, either you have a love for football or you want to be an entertainer, more so a rapper. He's like, these are what people were asking him with recruitment. You love football or you want to be a rapper?
That's wild.
So
That's
that's
wild.
what for saying that and coming out, putting out. But this is what Deion is going up against, and he's still nailing these recruits. So that right there is going to put me in his corner to say that if he tightens up his coaching, the O-line and the D-line from moving inside it out, his talent always going to want to play with him. I don't know what Winston do down there, wide receiver down there in Florida. He pre-committed to Deion when Deion signed last year. And he put himself back in the recruitment pool. But if he goes there too, that'll be another great pickup for Deion. So 4-8 is not as bad as I had it earlier. So hats off to Deion and continued success. I hope he stays.
Hey, what was your thoughts on Deion in Colorado this year?
The prime effect is real for me. So much so, like you said, like Hill was saying, 1:00 Saturday afternoon, or 11:00 at night on Saturday. I'm there. Friday night, I'm there. You know what I mean? Even so much, I we wake up Sunday morning, I had to get a fix. I started watching the NFL. Just, you know what I mean? And I think 4-8 was a bad season. I understand what you guys are saying, but I think it's a bad season, but I think it laid the groundwork to be successful in the future. You know what I mean? So, I mean, 4-8 to me is 4-8. And I think it's just, he's going to recruit. You don't have to be like a football savant to figure this out. It's the line. It's the O-line. It's the D-line. Because his skill players are some of the best, especially at, quarterback, wide receiver, running back. It's set. But the line plays will help him back, and I expect him to shore that up.
They probably got to get a quarterback, right? Shador leaves, right?
Nah.
He stays?
No, he's staying.
I don't even think his... I mean, of course, he would probably get picked, but I think his stock could go much higher next year with a better offensive line. So at the end of the day, he's a quarterback of a 4-8 team.
Yeah, I think he stays. I think what I was thinking when I said, hey, that would be considered a good season, is looking at the team that he inherited, especially by the time he signed with Colorado. Recruiting season is pretty much over by that time. He signed with Colorado. So he had to go heavy in the transfer portal and stuff like that. And I just felt like with the team he inherited and what he would have to do to fill out that team to make it a bowl eligible team, this would be unrealistic to expect him to be able to do that in his first year. You know what I mean? And I think he would need at least another year under his belt, to get to bowl eligible. And I think in order to play in a bowl, you have to win 6-7 games. I think he has a good chance of getting there this year. But I think it's still going to be a work in progress.
But like you said, though, he'll have his touch on his team.
Yeah.
I mean, so he gets to, unfortunately, let go some of the dead weight, which he had nothing to do with, and then build, on, from his vision.
I definitely agree with you, P, that he brought excitement to college football that hadn't been there prior to him coming to Colorado. Because I know I was just like you guys, checking for Deion, checking for college football, period, So definitely. Let's talk about the playoffs, college football playoffs. Georgia won last year. They won't be repeating this year. We got Michigan and Alabama and Washington and Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Who are your guys' early favorites?
That's Pete Southpaw. He was early. Washington. That's Pete Southpaw, guy over there. He'll be leaning towards Washington in that game, I can say.
Yeah. With the Shadora's my guy. Yeah, again, it's the prom effect. You know what I mean? And you got a lot of, well, not you guys. A lot of people are high on Caleb Williams, who's a good quarterback. I thought Penix was just as good.
Okay.
I did, and he's proven to be so. No knock on Caleb Williams. I think he's going to be a good pro and all of that. But but yeah, later for that. Florida State, they should be in. That's my beef. I almost feel like I'm not even gonna watch this because Florida State's not in. That's my beef.
Talk about it, Pete. Talk about it.
If all the people who are gonna push back and say, "Oh, they lost their quarterback," guess what? They're undefeated with that quarterback. Also, they didn't lose a game.
Yeah.
How would what? I mean,
with that being said, and I'm a Florida State guy. With that being said, go spank Georgia then. Go put it in their face. I think they're gonna get creamed by Georgia.
Okay, but it should be in the tournament. That's what I'm saying. I'm not even saying Georgia might be better.
Agreed. If they would have got smoked by Michigan, so what? I agree.
They might be better. All I'm saying is that they should have had the opportunity.
Let me ask you this, P. Florida State won the ACC championship with their backup quarterback, right?
Right.
And they played against Louisville. And whatchamacallit, I think they beat Louisville 13-9 or 13-9 or something to that effect. Right. It was a low-scoring game. They couldn't score any touchdowns. Some would look at that championship game as the reason why Florida State is not in the playoffs. Because that same Louisville team, I think they played Arizona, because they just played a bowl game, and the team was able to put damn near 40 points on them.
But this was before the selection, though.
And
I mean, this is after the selection. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and it's like some would argue to say that, hey, the selection committee got it right because, hey, you're talking about a Louisville team that, yeah, you're highly ranked Florida State, but you can hardly put up 13 points on them. A Louisville team that their defense is not why they're playing you in the ACC championship. So it's and for them, and then for that same Louisville team to show up in the bowl and get 5-6 touchdowns scored on them by a team that only won 6 games. People start feeling vindicated.
No, but I feel like
that. Marvin Harrison put up 3 points.
Yeah, I feel, but Florida State, maybe they had a bad game.
Definitely, and like I said,
or they found a different way to win it. And, hey,
maybe
they went from
that's
being
how good
an
their
offensive
defense
team,
is, right?
And they went to a defensive team.
Yeah,
I can do that.
Maserati Marv put up 3 points in a bowl game versus Missouri.
Yeah,
hands down the best wide receiver in the game, right? And Ohio State was ranked high throughout the whole entire year.
Yeah, I only have
ranked 7th, I think, in the nation now.
I only have like maybe 1 or 2 receivers even on his level. One of them plays for Florida State.
Coleman.
One of them plays for Florida State.
Coleman, agreed.
Like, it's almost like I respect it more if they just told me Alabama travels better.
Mm.
We'll,
I
we'll,
should
make,
say,
we'll make more revenue with Alabama. Just tell me that. But they didn't lose a game.
Know what the thing is? I think the committee between the quarterback getting hurt, the committee didn't want a TCU situation from last year. Because remember when TCU was in the playoffs, everybody, was like, oh, they undefeated and they deserve to be here. But then they got smacked.
They did deserve to be there. They got smacked. Okay, like I just feel undefeated in a major conference. How you can't? So if Alabama went undefeated and their quarterback got hurt, you would say, "Oh, we don't want another team." They would have been in. They would have been in. Stop. Come on, man. They robbed Florida State of opportunity. I'm not even saying Florida State is the best team or even they
they
played like
probably will get drilled, but they deserve to get drilled. Of course.
that's what I'm saying. They should have been in the college playoffs. They did not lose a game. They're undefeated with their first string quarterback, and they're undefeated with their second string quarterback.
Okay. So, who's winning the college football championship? Who y'all got?
I tell you one thing: if Michigan don't win the game, he has to go. I've seen enough. So I'm gonna say Michigan. Just to do that, I'm gonna say Michigan.
Yeah, I'm going with my man Penix, and I'm going with Washington. But yeah, that Michigan.
He doesn't win it. I don't want to hear that guy anymore.
So this is like the second or third year we did this too. Like, come on, Harbaugh.
Yeah, and Hill, I'm with you. I think Michigan.
They're gonna lose to Roll Tide, Mo. I'm telling you, they're gonna lose. For one, he's back, right? He's back.
I can't. Oh man, I can't do Roll Tide, I don't know why, and I'm not from Auburn or anything like that. It's not really, but Roll Tide. If Alabama, no, it just, yeah. I'll never root for Alabama. I'm sorry, they're like the Knicks to me.
Yeah, you shouldn't watch NFL then, because I'll tell you that much. They're the NFL, I'll tell you that much.
It's a good thing you don't watch the Alabama because you would not enjoy the NFL. They're everywhere, man.
Say that much. It'll shock you. I'm a Roll Tide guy myself. I like him. Not my favorite team, but I sure do enough like him.
Fellas, what's on the radar, man? 2024, man. What's on your radar?
For me, I think 2023. This might be like 2020 upcoming 2024. This might be like the best basketball year ever. No, I know that's a big statement, but I truly feel the NBA has never had this much talent at one time, ever. I'm sorry. This is my anti get off the lawn. Like, no, nothing. The Jordan era, the 80s, the golden era, and it's never been this much talent in NBA. And then you go on top of that, I feel like this might be the greatest basketball Olympics tournament that we're ever going to see. You know what I mean? Because especially if the USA comes at full strength, Canada comes at full strength, France will be pretty good. Some other countries. So I'm looking forward just like basketball in 2024. I think it's going to be one of the not one of the greatest basketball year ever.
Oh, what's on your radar, man? 2024, man.
I might have to second that. I think he just stole a lot of my thunder with the star power that we have in the NBA and just watching it unfold. I think we have some loose ends that we need to get rid of to really take this to the pinnacle. But this league looks wonderful. LeBron James, Clay.
Oh man! Whoa!
LeBron, Clay.
Whoa! You gonna end the year like that, bro?
Take him out back. Take the dog out back.
Grant.
Oh man.
Dame Lillard.
Yeah. Oh man.
But no, I love how it's coming from underneath and pushing up to make it to the Pantheon. And I should have went before Pete, because that's exactly how it was. I love the way that the league is kind of forcing the older guard to either play up to speed or, you're getting aged out. I'm tired of that game. That little sidebar, two things. That Laker team needs to let him go, let Austin Reeves unleash him, let him be the point guard. They'll be a better team. I feel he can get up to Jalen Brunson level. I really have faith in Austin Reeves. That's one. Second thing is, has to be some accountability for my man Embiid over there, getting some talent. Elton Brand needs to be on a TV show somewhere and not GM. I've seen enough of that whole Philly massacre, which he does over there. So going into 2024, hopefully, guys out there, north, south, east, west, Philly, I got to say something.
First Elton Brand reference. Elton Brand, you're on Hill's radar.
Should be the last going into 2024. Put it that way. Should clean house. And then 22-9 should clean house. That's what really would show the Philly faithful that you're serious about winning.
Wow. I'm going to double down on this. I think where you guys are going with the basketball and looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. I agree with both of your statements as far as the talent that we're seeing in the NBA. But I'm going to take it a step further because I think that extends to the WNBA. I think that extends to the college ranks as well. I can't wait for March Madness at this point, especially when it comes to women's college basketball. I think March Madness is going to be crazy this year. The number of young stars coming up in the college game is crazy between Caitlin, Angel Reese, Juju, Beckers out in UConn. We got a whole bunch of talent in the women's game, and that South Carolina team looks scary. Their point guard, I forgot her name. Please excuse me, forgive me. That's my brain, not my heart. But she's a problem as well, and she's on the up and come. And I can't wait for this March tournament for the women's basketball game. I think they got a lot of talent that's waiting to show out, and I'm there for it. I thoroughly enjoying the NBA season. I think the in-season tournament was a success, and I think that the NBA needs to double down on it. To Hill's point, I think a playoff spot should be on the line with that championship.
I disagree on that now.
Okay, of course. Once I agree with that.
Who said that?
Yeah. What you'll call it. And I agree with Pete. I think the Olympics has the potential to be something special. So I'm really looking forward to that. Also, looking forward to some new movies coming out. Doom Part 2. I'm looking forward to that. Finishing up Reacher, television series from Amazon Prime. Season 2 is finishing up this new year coming up. So real interested in that. So a lot of things on the radar right now.
Definitely, and I guess we said it all year long, and last year as well. Shout out Dawn Staley for doing what she's doing, and I think last year made her the highest paid basketball coach in women's basketball. So that hats off to them. And if you're a Cavalier fan, I don't know how you don't speak to the AD or the dean over there and just ask from even just a revenue standpoint, what did we do wrong to not want her here in Virginia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like an example of the ultimate program build. Like, Deion could take notes from her.
Yeah.
I mean, no shade, we love Deion, but she's doing it with W's. You know what I mean? I'm sure Deion will be successful too, but yeah. We love Dawn Staley over here.
Definitely.
About the point guard, I mean, you got Cardoza, who's next to Leah Boston. Like she keep building, and now she's doing, like you said, like Deion can take notes, but she's getting something from Deion because now you're getting people from the transfer portal coming to her. Wants to play that's playing with her now. So I mean, she just added on to her talent.
Yeah. The program. This is one of those programs right now. she doesn't she doesn't rebuild, she reloads. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but it's so scary. And I know we're drawing out the eulogy of 2023, but it's just frustrating because now it just seems like the history, which was her playing, because she was such a great player, Virginia. I mean, we watch her. That's why we know Dawn Staley. She didn't just pop up. Dawn Staley was an Allen Iverson of her time at Virginia. So
yeah,
it just strikes me what went wrong there to not want her back, just in general, for what she did for your program as a player. I would like to know that. That's all.
yeah. Inquiring minds, man.
very interesting.
Fellas, any last words before we get out of here, man?
Just peace and love to everybody in the new year, man.
Yeah, and
Safe, healthy.
Definitely. Happy New Year to everybody. Like the fella says, be safe, be healthy. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to send out, hit that notification button. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. And we're out of here. See you in 2024.
As always, peace.